Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jen Felton. I'm one of the regional directors here at GoldenCare, and I am pleased to present the Mutual of Omaha electronic application for long-term care. This is a great tool that Mutual of Omaha has designed to help you write long-term care. It's a very simple process, and I'm actually going to walk you through that entire process here this afternoon. So I'm doing a little different. If you've ever been on one of my webinars previously, we're actually going to take you completely through the electronic application. One thing I want to point out, if you're not already appointed with GoldenCare, you know what? We've got lots of tools and resources for you to help you be more successful in your business. So take a look at us, why GoldenCare. Check out our website at www.goldencareagent.com. You can also call us at any time. Our number is 800-842-7799. But before we get into the webinar, I want to tell you about a great new bonus that just came out. We have our March Madness bonus, and typical today is the start of the basketball season of March Madness, and so we're kind of going on with that. For every Mutual of Omaha long-term care application that you write between March 15th and June 30th, so this is a big contest period, you can earn $75 in cash for every applicant that, as long as it is issued and placed, you can earn $75 for each and every application. Now, the minimum premium is $1,500 per applicant, but if you meet that, again, every app you place and gets issued between March 15th and June 30th, you earn $75 cash. And on top of that, for all those that qualify that you write electronic apps, you earn an additional $25 bonus. So you can earn $100 per app if you write an electronic app and it meets these qualifications. So you know what? Truly, this is the right question. How big will your bonus be? Because this is a great period of time to write some business and earn some extra dollars. And I'm going to show you here this afternoon just how easy it is to submit an application electronically. So with that, let's go ahead and pull up the software, or not the software, but the e-application. Now, the first thing that you need to do when you're writing with Mutual of Omaha is you actually have to have access to the Mutual of Omaha Sales Professional Access. So where I want you to go is mutualofomaha.com. And once you're there, you're going to click over here on the right-hand side and click on Sign In. Then you're going to look for Sales Professionals. That's going to take you into the sign-in information. Okay? If you've never set up an account with Mutual of Omaha, click on this Don't Have an Account, Sign Up. And all you need to do to start that process is put in your production number. From there, continue on, and you'll put in the rest of your information, set up a username and password, and on you go. So with that, though, we're going to go ahead and dive right in. So I have my username and password already set up here. So let me type that in. And this will bring us to the landing page for the Sales Professional Access by Mutual of Omaha. Now, we're going to concentrate on the electronic applications, and right on the main homepage, you can see under Sales Tools, the first one here is Electronic Applications. So you can click on that and it'll take you right to the e-apps. But I just want to point out, you can get to the e-apps in other areas as well. If you go up to Sales and Marketing, you can see Electronic Applications is right there. But you know what? For easy purposes, they make it right on that dashboard. Go ahead and click on Electronic Applications. Now, here you can see Mutual of Omaha offers several different e-application options. They've got a Medicare supplement app, a dental app, life insurance applications, and of course the long-term care, and that's what we're going to look at today. Now, once you get to this point, if you're actually sitting down with a client or you're doing a sale over the phone, what you want to do is click on the big blue up button to start or continue an e-application. But I want to point out before we go into that, the resources. One is the Sandbox. The Sandbox is just like it is. You can go in there and play around with an actual application, and it looks absolutely identical to the live application under the big blue button. But what the Sandbox allows you to do is not have a live application where it submits or to the company itself. So that's what I'm going to show you in today, is just go into a Sandbox and walk through that entire application to get you familiar with filling out an e-app. Some other resources here is they have a great quick start guide. they have a training video, and they have a frequently asked questions flyer. So lots of different resources available for you to get familiar with this e-application process. But let's go ahead and dive right in. So when you first come in to start an application, it's going to give you two options here. First, you can click on a Start Application, or you can view applications that you've previously started or have already submitted. And this is also a great area you can check to see the status of your apps. So the first thing you want to do is click on Start Application. So this screen is going to pop up, and the only thing you have to choose here is your client's resident state. So we're going to choose Minnesota here, and then your commission code. Now, if you only have one commission code, it'll automatically be put in there, but otherwise you can click on this, and if you have multiple commission codes, just make sure you put in whichever one that you're writing. Then all you do is click on Start Application. Now, before I click on Start Application, because to make this webinar go a little bit smoother, I have started an application already. So now I'm going to change it over to View Applications. You can see here I've started a couple of applications already. We've got Joe Sample here, who's already completed, but we also have Polly Holder. Her middle initial C there is missing, so it's really Policy Holder is incomplete, and that's the app we're going to complete here today. Now, all you have to do is click on View, and now you're in Polly's application information status, okay? Now, there's several different actions you can do. You can view a PDF, or you can go on and edit, or you can delete the app altogether. Now, because we're going to continue on with this application, we're going to want to click on Edit. So this brings you in to the first page of the application, and it starts out just like your paper application with the personal worksheet. You can see here we've got a single or a dual application. What's nice about the e-app is, you know what, if you are dealing with a single application, you only have to worry about that one applicant A side. But if you do have a couple that you're writing and you're doing a dual application, you can see it populates the applicant B side, and then you just have to know to answer the questions on both sides, like this. Okay? But for today, we're just going to go through a single applicant. Now, we're going to go through this application just like you would with a client. The premium information, if your client is paying per year or per month, you go ahead and type that premium into that area there. Next, you come down here and it goes through the disclosure statement. Now, I've already checked this just to show you when I had both applicant A and B up there, but what the disclosure statement says is the answers to the questions on this personal worksheet describe my financial situation, or they can choose not to complete this information. Now, one word of caution, I recommend you to have your clients fill out the personal worksheet. The reason being is Mutual of Omaha, if you choose not to complete this information, they will mail out a letter to your client that has to be signed off on, and they have to return it. So it's just as easy to take care of this personal worksheet right up front. So we're going to go ahead and answer the questions through the financial situation. The first question here is related to your income. How will you pay for your premiums each year? And all you have to do is check that box. And you can see once I check that box, the yellow goes away, and you know what? You've completed that section. On to the next question. Have you ever considered whether you could afford to keep this policy if the premiums went up, example, by 20%? Sure, I have. Yes. What about your income? So you answer that. How do you expect your income to change? I hope it's going to increase, right? And will you buy inflation protection? Sure, I will. What elimination period are you considering? I'm going to consider a 90-day elimination, and my approximate cost for that is probably $20,000. Okay, so once you fill that in, as you can see, the yellow is disappearing, so we're actually completing that application. The next one here, how are you planning to pay for your care during that elimination period? You know what? For that, I'll probably pay it from my savings or investments. Now we have our savings-related questions. Not counting your home, how much are your assets? Over $50,000? Sure. How do you expect your assets to change? Again, we hope they increase. Or, stay about the same. Whatever it is that your clients are answering, you're just clicking these buttons away as you ask the questions. One question here on the disclosure statement, this box must be checked. This is just saying that they understand that rates for this policy may increase in the future. And then, of course, you as the agent, your name will be listed here as you're going through the app process. Then all you do is click on Next. Now, for the next part is the general information. And it, again, looks just like the paper application. You have a new business app. We have our single app. And then you've got your name, your address, your phone number. You can also put in the best time to call. Maybe she can be called at 10 o'clock in the morning. And if you want to put an email address in, you can do that. But it's not necessary to do an email address here, okay? Of course, they have to have their Social Security number entered, their birth date, their occupation, their citizenship, and you can also list a beneficiary if you want to. But again, that's not necessary to enter a beneficiary if you don't want to. So with that, we can go ahead and click on the next page. Now you can see these first two pages here are no longer yellow. That means we've completed those two sections. So now on to the Section B, Allowances. Here is the partner allowances. For one, it says, do you have a partner? If you click yes here, make sure that you're answering the next couple questions. You can see if we would have clicked on no, it's just going to have you keep continuing on. That's what's nice about the e-application too, is that, you know what, if you do mark yes and they need more or additional information, that information is going to pop up and ask you. So you're not going to miss anything by doing the electronic app. The next one here, question 2, is are you or your partner a member of a sponsored association group endorsing the long-term care product? So if you are a member of that association group, remember Mutual of Omaha gives a 5% discount. They can mark that there, and that's when they're going to pop up and say, okay, what's the group number, the organization number, the member name, and so on. So again, it's going to ask for additional information if you choose a yes answer. The last one here is, are you eligible for an employer allowance discount? Same here. If you say yes, it's going to ask for that group number, group name, and so on. Now we can move on to the next page. Replacement coverage. Question number 1, do you currently have another long-term care in force, and including health care services, contracts, or maintenance? If you say yes or no, we're going to just click on no. Question 2, did you have another long-term care insurance policy in force in the last 12 months, yes or no? And do you intend to replace other long-term care coverage, yes or no? So again, if you replace, it is going to ask a little bit later about that replacement question. But here, we're just going to mark no for easy purposes. Finally, continuing on in question 4, this is answered by you as the producer. So it's asking you, have you sold any health insurance or long-term care policies to either of these two applicants that are still in force over the last 5 years? So yes or no, move on. And finally, the last one here is, have you ever been declined, rated, or denied reinstatement for long-term care? Hopefully, no. If you have been declined or rated by another long-term care company and you mark yes, in order to submit the application, we do need to have an underwriter's approval for that. So that's something to keep in mind if you do run into somebody who has been declined for long-term care. Make sure you're calling the underwriting department and getting that pre-approval whether or not they want you to submit that app or not. So for now, we're going to say no. The next section here is Section D. Now, Section D is the start of our health questions, and these are really what we're considered as our knockout questions. Okay. Now, the first question is a tricky one. A lot of agents have been marking yes to this question, but not fully reading the question. So I want to point out on question 1 here, a lot of agents are stopping after this first little section. So are you age 65? And they mark yes. But that's not it. What they're asking in this question is, are you age 65 or older, and has it been more than 2 years since you've had a doctor's visit? So anyone 65 and older must have seen a doctor along with a physical examination and blood work within the last 2 years in order to submit an application with Mutual of Omaha. So if you mark yes here, you know what, don't submit the app. And the one thing with this is it's not a smart app. It will let you continue on and keep going. So, or actually it does say do not submit the application. But again, my new business people have said, don't just ask, are you older than 65 and say yes. Make sure it's continuing on in that if they haven't had a physical exam or blood work in the last 2 years. That is what the question is asking, okay? Number 2 is, do you currently use any of the following? Of course, mobility issues, walkers, cane, quad canes, scooters, anything like oxygen, nebulizers. Again, that's a knockout question. The next one, within the past 6 months, have you been confined to or used the following? Residential care, assisted living. So again, any help or services that you had providing for long-term care. The next one here is with your ADLs. If you need help with those, obviously that's a knockout question. And number 5, we have all these standard knockout questions or diseases as well. If that's a yes, do not submit. Number 6 is the AIDS and AIDS-related complex question. And do you currently qualify for payment under Medicaid or Medicare, disability income, workers' compensation, or Social Security? So we all know those knockout questions. If you have any of those, don't submit the app. But now that we've got all those yellow areas checked, we can move on to the next section. The next section is your primary physician information. Of course, they're going to put in their doctor's information, the last time they saw the doctor. Keep in mind, this doctor visit has to be within the last 2 years if your clients are over the age of 65. Now, why did they see it? Physical exam. The next question here is the blood work and physical exam. So make sure, again, it's within the last 2 years. If your clients are under the age of 65, if it hasn't been within 2 years, you can still submit it. However, the underwriter still may want your clients to go out and have an exam performed. So again, over 65, do not submit it if they haven't had a date within the last 2 years, okay? Medication. The next question is your medication question. Of course, if you answer yes, you're going to see that this scroll bar, you need to scroll down, and now you can enter in all the medication information. It has your medication name, the dosage, how often you take it, how long have you taken it, why are you taking it, and so on. So again, if you have a second medication, you can go ahead and click on that. You see my scroll bar changed again. You just keep scrolling down, and now you can enter in a second medication. If you have a third, you do it again, keep scrolling down, and you can do it all over again. So again, this e-app is very easy to use, and it's going to take you through each and every question. Okay. With medications, I'm going to click on no. That way we can get a completed application here, and we'll go ahead and click on next. In section G is additional health questions. We all know you just got to read these questions to your clients, right? And hopefully the answers are no, so you have a good, clean app. But if not, all you have to do is mark high blood pressure. Yeah, I have high blood pressure. That's why I'm taking medication. They want the physician name and the facility and so on. But again, you mark yes to a question. It's going to ask you additional information, and you can go ahead and type that in. Again, all these answers, depending on what you do or what you have, again, you can just keep on answering or asking these questions to your clients and move along through the application. Of course, you have the height and weight at the end, and have you had any unplanned weight change in the end? Yes or no as well. So now that you've completed section G, we can continue on once again. Of course, now there's one more page of medical history. Seems like a lot, but it's very user-friendly. You can see as I'm talking to you that all you have to do is ask the questions, answer yes and no, and go on to the next question, just like you would if you're sitting with a paper application and you're taking down those answers as well. Now, the section H, question 1 here, to the best of your knowledge, has your biological mother, father, or sibling been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease or other form of dementia? Now, if you write yes or no here, if you write yes, that doesn't knock you out of anything. You can still get coverage as long as it's only one biological mother or father or sibling that's been diagnosed. If you have both your mother and father, so now there's multiple, unfortunately, you would be declined for long-term care by Mutual of Omaha. But if you only have one, so let's say your mother had it, and you marked yes here, Mutual of Omaha underwriters will limit the amount of coverage that you can purchase. So your clients would only be able to purchase a 5-year program with a $5,000 monthly maximum benefit. But otherwise, they can get the coverage, and you can buy inflation, so that can continue to grow. But they do have that restriction if you do mark yes on this question 1. Okay. The next one here is if you've been hospitalized or had surgery in the past 30 years. Again, if you say yes, it's going to ask if so and when. And again, you're just asking all these questions to your clients. I don't want to read them all to you because you guys all are, you know you have to ask the questions to the clients. You're an agent, though, and I just don't want to read to you. So again, you're answering those medical questions just like you would with the paper app. And now we're finally here to the selection of benefits page. Now, you know that Mutual of Omaha offers 2 different products. They have the Mutual Care Secure Solution product and the Mutual Care Custom Solution product. We are big believers with the custom solution, so that's the one I'm going to click on. But if you were writing secure, you would click on that option as well. We really love the custom, though, not only for the cash benefit, but also that inflation buy-up protection. It just is a great opportunity for people to buy up their inflation with no proof of insurability in the future. But just like your selection of benefits page in the application, it looks exactly the same. You need to enter your monthly maximum benefit. So we're going to have a $5,000 monthly benefit. Our policy limit, let's say we're going to buy $200,000 policy limit. Whoops, hold on. I didn't put enough zeros in there. Okay, now inflation protection. You either mark yes or no here. If you're selecting 5% compound inflation, you go ahead and check yes. But if not, you check no, and you can see all the other additional inflations pop up. Here's where you can check no inflation, or anywhere from 1% all the way up to 5% in those 2.5 increments. So standard inflation that we sell a lot around here is the 3% compound inflation. So I'm going to go ahead and check that. Here is where you pick your durations if you want a shorter duration of inflation. So all of these up here are considered compound lifetime with the buy-up. That's the default option. But if you want to do the inflation 10-year term or 15-year term or 20-year term, that's where you choose those options. The non-forfeiture rider is yes or no. Remember, if you choose yes for the non-forfeiture benefit, this is an additional premium cost. So this is a cost rider on this policy. Other optional benefits, assisted living is automatically built in at 100%. If you want to reduce it, you can do it here. Same with the home health care. Only if you're reducing, you mark one of those. Otherwise, it's all going to be automatically built in at that 100%. Your calendar day elimination period is defaulted at 90-day elim. So you don't have to choose anything here as long as you're doing a 90-day elimination period. If you want something other than 90 days, then you would choose an option here. Here is your waiver of home care elimination for home health care benefit. I like that rider. We're going to put that on there. And we have the professional home health care benefit as well. If you like that one, you can put that one on as well. Here are our partners' benefits. I'm only doing a single person here, so if I do add something, it's not going to work. Even though the app itself is going to work for you, obviously you're doing a single person, so you don't want to check any of these partner benefits here. And with that, we just keep moving on through Section K, the premium information. So you've got different options here. Do you want conditional coverage? If you say yes to conditional coverage, that means your clients must submit at least 2 months premium in order to get that conditional coverage. Now, conditional coverage is always going to be the date of the application. Okay, if you're going to have your clients do conditional coverage and put money down, always choose the date of the application. If your clients don't want to do conditional coverage, they can choose the date the policy is issued for their effective date. Okay, so that's the difference there. If you want conditional coverage, you choose the date of the application. For no money down, they can do the date of issue. Of course, if you're doing replacements, you can check that box and put your own date in as well. The next premium, the question 3 is initial premium payment. Again, how many months, 2 months minimum collected if you're doing conditional coverage here. If you're not doing conditional coverage, just go ahead and put 0 in there. And so you're not doing conditional coverage, no premium was collected, and now you can move on to the next section. Here, the recurring premium payment, whether you're doing a monthly automatic bank withdrawal, a quarterly bill, semi-annual, or annual bill, whatever you choose there, you can go ahead and put the modal premium, whatever that might be, right in question number 4. And on we go to the next section. The protection against unattended lapse, you can either choose to designate someone or not. Oops, I'm going to choose not, just for easy purposes today. Again, where was the application signed? I'm in Plymouth, Minnesota. And this is a key one right here. So where underneath where it's signed application, I encourage you to check this little box. What this box says is it says, does the applicant request to fill out an authorization for release of information to my insurance agent and or agency? What this is going to do for you as an agent is if your clients get rated, if they get declined, it allows you to find out why. And the reason why it's so important to find out is then we here at GoldenCare can actually help you pivot to another carrier or another product to get your clients some coverage that they want, okay? So this is an area where you don't have to check it. It wasn't yellow highlighted, so it can be easily missed. But again, make sure you check that little box so that you can find out the reasons if your client happens to get declined, so that we can either appeal the case or we can help pivot or transition to another product or carrier. The next one here is, of course, the producer question, making sure that you asked all the questions and that you recorded the answers accurately. So yes, we have done that. Finally, to the last couple sections here, we have our HIPAA section. If they have another name for under their medical records, that's where you would put that. And then, of course, you put their birth date, and then that's all that section is, nice and easy. And now we've come to the producer statement page. The producer statement page you're all familiar with. You know, as long as you've asked all the questions accurately and completely, if we certify that the application was completed in the physical presence of the applicant. So if you're doing it face-to-face, you just click yes. If you click no, it'll open up and say why. Well, we did a phone conversation and web. You can do something like that, and that will clarify up question number 2 as well. The third question here throws off some agents. This says this coverage is written on myself, the producer, and or my partner. So a lot of times we see yes here, even though it's actually not them. So just watch the questions here. If you're not writing it on yourself, this question's always going to be no. Number 4 here is what rate class did you quote? You click on that, and then to the best of your knowledge, are they replacing? And we're not replacing at this time. Another thing you can do on a Mutual of Omaha e-app is do a split case. So you can add a second producer here if you choose to split that case with someone, and you can even choose to do a third producer. So as long as the commission share amount equals 100%, you can actually do 3 producer splits on these applications. So with this, you put in your last 4 digits of your social. I'm going to get a full 100% of the commission. I'm going to put my phone number. Whoops. And then that's all cleared out, excuse me. And then the last one here is if you want them to contact somebody else other than you, you can go ahead and provide their information as well. And then if something's missing on the app, that person will be called instead of yourself. But you know what? I handle all my apps, so I'm going to say no to that. And we're going to go ahead and click on that. And now look, we've now completed our application and it's ready to sign. And I want to walk you through this next step, and I'm sorry if I'm going a little bit long. I guess we're just coming up on a half hour. So hopefully you can stick with me because I want to show you how easy it is to do this signature process with your clients. So once you have a completed status and it's ready to sign here, all you have to do is click on Request Signatures. Now, once you request signatures, this extra little box you see has popped up. And now, if you're sitting face-to-face with your clients, they can just go ahead and click on Sign and walk through that process. But if you're doing a over-the-phone or web conversation with your clients, then what you would do is email them. So now you can email your clients the request for signatures, and it'll show that you emailed. So the status has now changed from new to emailed. But now you as the agent, if you wanted to, could go in and sign it. And I'm going to show you how easy that is. So let's go ahead and click on Sign here. And one thing I'd recommend when you're telling your clients how to go through this is say, you know what, you can go page by page through the documentation. And this is the entire app, and it's completely filled out just like you have it. And they can just look for those yellow boxes where it says Sign. So I'm going to click on Sign here, and it's going to digitally sign my application. Now, if they want to go through each and every page, they can certainly do so if they want to review everything. Otherwise, if they want to, they walked it through you on the presentation. So now, if they want, they can just click on Next Signature, and it'll take them to page 20 where the next signature is. And I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Click on that. And then I have to click on Finished. And so now you can see my new status as an agent has now been assigned application. So now your clients will do that. So once they get their email, they're going to have a link in that email. They're going to click on that link, and they're going to go through the same process you just did, except they have a couple more steps, and I want to show you what their process is going to be. So once they get that email and they click on that link, this is going to pop up. It's the important documents. So they have to click on a couple things and review them before they can give consent to doing the electronic signatures. The first one is the important documents. So they go ahead and click on those, and you can see here it's 143 pages worth of everything they need to know, right? Things you should know before you buy long-term care, the outline of coverage. It's going to have the shopper's guide in there. So all these pages are right in here. It even has the Medicare guide in here. Again, they can download it, or if they want to print all 143 pages, they can do so. But this is something that has to be opened, okay? So once we do that, then we click on Electronic Signature Consent Form, and now we have the consent form. I'm going to read through that. I understand it, okay? So now these little boxes opened up for your clients, and then they just click on those two boxes, and now your clients will be able to sign that application. So again, very similar to what you just saw as a signing agent, they have in front of them. So now, again, they can either click and go through every single page of the application if they want to, and now they have to sign that app, or they can just skip to Next Signature, and it's going to take them exactly where they need to go in order to finish signing that application. So Next Signature, and Sign. And then make sure your clients hit the word Finished. As long as they hit the word Finished, everything wraps up and is complete. And now you can see you have a signed application by both you and the client. And now it's ready to submit to the back office. So once you submit it to the back office, it will come to us, we'll review it and make sure, and then we'll go ahead and send it on to Mutual of Omaha. And that's as simple as it is. It's easy to do, and it gets you right in there, and you're able to submit that application right away. So let me go back out here, because I just want to bring you back to that initial page of the e-application. Again, the Sandbox is a wonderful tool, and that's what I just went through and showed you the entire application process and how easy it was to use this electronic application. So with that, I think I have covered everything. If you do have questions, you would have to type them in, as our new system doesn't allow me to open up the phone lines or anything. So if you have any questions, I'll hang on here, type them in, and I'll answer them. Otherwise, definitely give us a call at GoldenCare. I'm going to bring this one back up. So you have our phone number here, 800-842-7799. But again, I will hang on if anyone wants to type in any questions. If you don't have any questions and you're going to head out, I just want to thank you all for attending here today. I hope you saw how easy it is to use that electronic application, and I encourage you to get in there and play in the sandbox and get familiar with it. Again, that contest or that bonus going on through the end of June is a great way to get your feet wet with that application, and you can earn extra $25 just by submitting those applications electronically. So again, thank you all for attending. Oh, I do see a question popped in, so let me go ahead and take a look at that. The question is the Sandbox used for an actual submissioner, or is there a separate link for the app? Yes, the Sandbox is only to play around in, so I'm going to go back to that website here and show you if you want a live application. So you have a client you're sitting with, you want to click on the big blue box. That's the real live application. The Sandbox is for you just to play in, and that's the reason why I went in there, is because I'm not doing a live application. So again, if you're with a client, start with the big blue box. Great question. Are there any other questions? You know what? If you need help logging into the Mutual of Omaha Sales Professional Access, give us a call here at GoldenCare. We can definitely help you do that. Again, our number is 800-842-7799. Otherwise, thank you so much for attending this afternoon. Hopefully, you'll go in and try out that electronic application and earn some extra dollars in our March Madness bonus. Once again, thank you, and have a great rest of your day.